In this video, let's talk about, does money actually buy you happiness, or is it just a facade that every single person on the internet says? So for the most part, I remember when I was first in Budapest back in 2023, I was making multi-six figures a year, but my second time around when I started the software company and had the market agency and basically just got started with more and more online business, I was making way more money than I did in 2023, this time around, right? In 2025, 2 years later. And I just remember the whole time, my whole first month in Budapest, I was just thinking back about 2023 and how I had such a good time. Basically had like zero worries in the world. I wasn't stressed. I was checking out restaurants. I was going by the Danube every single night. And I was just reminiscing on my life in the same exact city 2 years later. And I remember my whole first month, the first week I was there, I got sick. I spilled water all over my MacBook, and I had to go buy a new keyboard and then bought the wrong Hungarian keyboard. And it felt like the whole first month I was just like indoors all day. Like on the weekdays, I didn't go outside. I just wolted food up to my apartment, ate it, hopped on sales calls, started hiring people, just like calls 24/7. And I think a lot of people say like the money will buy you the happiness, but arguably I think money has made life worse in terms of like having the worries and having the stress of actually running a business that's not just by you. So for example, in the beginning, if you're just a one-man show, you're going to only hire, maybe one other person, or you're going to be managing everything yourself. But as you start growing as a business owner, what's going to happen is you need to start hiring more and more people. And the thing is, the people that you hire, they probably have families, they have loved ones, and then they're relying on you to pull them out of the trenches. So the stress on you as a business owner is going to get a lot more once you have more employees at your company. And a lot of people don't really talk about it, but I think one thing is, as long as you have your basic necessities, you could travel, you could go to restaurants maybe once or twice, nice restaurants once or twice a month. You could travel, you have the means to travel, and you're not very worried about like your day-to-day necessities. I think that's the cap at where money actually makes your life better. And you are beyond that point. So a lot of people say it's like 70K a year, something like that. That was probably back in the day before the inflation stuff. But I think it'll probably be anywhere around like 10 to 30K a month is probably that sweet spot. And once you go beyond that, it's going to be, you're going to have a lot more headaches in life. And I think but the thing is, like, whenever you actually achieve that point, you always want more and more. I think it's just like the greediness of being human. Like every single person always wants more. And after a certain point, it kind of becomes a game. Like basically what I do now, I still don't splurge my money just randomly on random things. Just like, of course, if I go to a restaurant, I'm going to order whatever I want at the restaurant. But I don't just splurge my money, buy all the luxury watches, the nice cars, whatever. Like, I don't really care about that. But it does become a game after a certain point. And when I was a kid, I used to play RuneScape. And I remember I used to just like merch every single day. So all I do is like be in the Grand Exchange and buy low and sell high. And that's all I did. I didn't buy any gear. I just kept watching the numbers in the bank go up. And it kind of feels the same way in terms of like running a business. So it's like seeing your bank balance go up, but for the most part, like you should spend it on experiences, especially if you're young. And I think when I was more broke than before, I had a lot more, I guess, dad lore, you could say. Like I was doing a lot more stuff on a day-to-day basis. I was more adventurous, but after you run a business, you kind of get sick of just like traveling around so much because you want to focus on productivity, but you should always have that like childhood curiosity about you, no matter where you are in your business, because for the most part you could always work. And I think it's like a dangerous mindset of Americans always wanting to hustle. Like even for me, when I was in Rio last year around this time, a couple of buddies, like we were on the beach, and I know that all the Americans after an hour and a half or 2 hours, we just wanted to get our laptops and start working. And I think all the Europeans that were there, or the Brazilians that were there, they just wanted to like chill at the beach, play volley, drink. But I think it's just like the hustle culture of America. And it feels like we're accomplishing something, but at the end of the day, like everybody's going to die one day. So do whatever you want in this life, whether it's like the Hormozy style where he just wants to build a big business, he doesn't care about anything else, or whether you want to be like a digital nomad and travel and just like live below your means and then just make a stable income so you can travel around the world. It's really up to you to decide. And you'll figure it out along in the journey, because if you're still in the middle, if you're still beginning, actually, you're a long way from like getting to that digital nomad lifestyle, because you haven't gotten started. So once you actually get started, you land 1 to 3 clients a month. You could basically go to like Thailand, Bali, and just live whatever, right? It's very cheap there. Or you can go Latin America, it's very cheap. And you could decide what you want to do after. And I think a lot of people, they look at like the Instagram models, the Instagram influencers, they think like they're living the life, but in reality, I'm sure that they only show the good parts about life. So you don't see like the nights where they can't sleep, or they're stressed about their employees or clients or stuff like that. So you only see the good parts. So that's all I really have for this video. For the most part, money, after your basic necessities, won't bring you that much happiness. Arguably, it's made my life less or worse. But I do treat it as like a game. Like it is fun for me to improve as a person. I made a video about that earlier, but like improve as a person, go through all these obstacles, because at the end of the day, I'll have stories to tell, and I become the person I want to be in the future. And yeah, that's all I have for this video. I'll catch you in the next video.